everyone, my name is Shivani Tyagi, your philosophy and ethics teacher. So today we are going to understand yoga. So if you are feeling anxiety, if you are feeling depressed, then all these solutions are given by our Indian sage, our Indian philosophy. The only thing you have to do is understand them, analyze them and implement them in your life. Now let's understand what yoga philosophy is. Now when we talk about yoga philosophy, it was given to us by Indian sage, right, named Patanjali. And he gave like 196 verses in this, and his book was called Yoga Sutra, in which he basically mentioned like all the things, like how our mind works and how it is different from body and our soul. So these are the characters that he gave to us, and his system was known as Ashtanga Yoga and Raj Yoga. So Ashtanga Yoga, in this he explains 8 limbs of the philosophy, which we'll understand one by one, like try to analyze them and with it today's reality also. So when we talk about this yoga, right, so yoga means yuj, which says uniting, connecting together, right? So now let's understand it one by one, that what it was trying to say and how it is still relevant in today's life. So if we see Patanjali, so Patanjali says that yoga is the stopping of the movements of the mind, right? So whatever is basically going on in your mind, then all negativity, right? So this is the solution that we have. So when we talk about yoga, it is basically connected with Sankhya. So these things that we do in a practical way, right, all these things are written there. Basically Sankhya is like theoretical version of yoga, right? So Sankhya have like all the theories, right, and yoga is basically we do it practical, right, all the asanas that we do. Now let's understand that what it says. It says that when our mind becomes calm, we can see our true self, right? Purusha. If you remember that in Nyaya and Vishishka also we talk about Purusha. When we talk about Purusha, it's like self-realization, right? This identification of I that we have, right? So this identification, like I am Shivani Tyagi, right? This Descartes theory, if we remember from the Western philosophy. So this is like Purusha, right? Realization of self, realization that this is the only reality. This outer material, this materialistic world that we are having, this is not the reality. So this foundation we should be basically, we should live on. So if you remember in other philosophies also, in Jainism, Buddhism, everyone talks about it, right? So Purusha, it's like self-realization, liberation that we call. Now yoga is, as explained, that is called yuj, basically to unite. And chitta, the mind, the thoughts, memory and awareness that we are having, right? So vritti means waves or thoughts of the mind. And nirodha means calm or stilling the mind. So Purusha is like true self or pure consciousness. Now, the word yoga comes from Sanskrit word yuj. This I've explained it to you. So, when we talk about it, yoga is the stopping of the fluctuation of the mind. So, if we try to analyze it, so let's understand what it says. Yoga is the fluctuation of the cessation of the mind. If you try to understand the statement, then yoga is the fluctuation, that is vritti. So vritti is like basically all the negative things, right, which is making us to stop, realize the self, realize the Purusha. And when we talk about cessations, right, so it is basically all the things that we are feeling. And then mind, which is called chitta, right? So these are the things which are basically making us stop, not helping us to realize the self, not helping us to realize the Purusha. And this is the core understanding of yoga, these things, right? Yoga, the work of yoga is to unite, right? And chitta is the mind, the feel, the thoughts, memories, right? The resemblances that we get, right? We connect these things through chitta, right? Then vritti, waves or thoughts of the mind, whatever you are having those thoughts, right, that is through vritti. Now nirodha is calmness or stilling the mind. Whenever you are thinking, whenever you are doing yoga, right, this nirodha is there, the calmness could be seen, and which will lead us towards Purusha. Now, There are types of yogas. When we talk about types, first one is physical yoga. There are four types of it, and it is like relation between body with breath, and which gives us the health and energy. Then another one we have, second, mental yoga, which is mind with peace and gives us focus and calmness. Then we have third, spiritual yoga, that is self with supreme, and this is like self realization, moksha is there. So there are three types of it, right? Now let's understand the sutras. As explained to you, there are like 196 yoga sutras, right? And they are very short, they are powerful, and these verses are explained that how we should control the mind, how to keep our mind stable. If you remember that when you go to the examination hall, before that you can feel the anxiety, you can feel something in your stomach, the butterflies are there, right? So yoga is a solution. Take deep breaths, right? And basically exhale it. So this will help you in the calmness, this will help you to realize your true worth, right? Your true self. And this is why it is important in today's life, the basically problems that today's generation is facing because of this materialistic world, because of this competition. So yoga, these solutions are given to us. Our Indian sages, they gave solutions to us, it's just that we have to implement it. Now what are the yoga sutras? So each sutra is like short formula full of deep meaning, right? The solution are given to them, right? All you have to do is find it, the answer. So this claim to realize the true self, purusha, right? The real identity of I, that what is I? Is this something which is connected to the outer world? It is something to connected to the materialistic world? That we have to realize. Then we have eightfold path, Ashtanga yoga, right? The factors are given there. And when we talk about it, we have first one, which is yama. So yama is like moral values that are given to us, that what we should do, what we should not do, like how we should behave, right? So these are like rules and regulations of how we should like behave in the society, what we should do for the society so that chaos cannot be seen, the stability could be seen, right? So this is basically yama. When we talk about yama, there are, these are the types that we have. So first one is ahimsa, right? Another one is satya, third is asatya, brahmacharya, and apigraha. So if you remember, all of these are given by our Indian philosophers, like Gandhi gave it, Ambedkar gave it, right? So all these basically read these sutras, read our Indian sages, right? And then they came to this theory. So this is why I tell today's generation also, especially people who are preparing for UPSC, make sure that you are not only reading them for paper, for examination to clear the UPSC. Make sure that you are trying to understand them, implement them, right? Next we have niyama. So niyama tells us like what we should do, right? With consistency. So first one is personal disciplines is very important. And these things, all these eight limbas, right? Eightfold paths, these are important if you are a student preparing for UPSC. Not only for UPSC, for any government examination, or if you are a person who wants to do something good for the society, good for yourself, good for your community, then make sure that you are reading these Indian philosophers, because they hold so much value, right? So if we'll start implementing in today's life, right? So the problems that we are facing, health wise, right, society wise, they could be solved. Next we have asana. So asanas are like practical postures that we get. So first one is steady comfortable posture, body becomes very strong and focused. As I said, if you are feeling anxiety, if you are feeling depressed, then you should start taking breathing exercises. And I suggest to my students that whenever you are feeling anything, make sure that you are doing these kind of activities. It will help you analyze things and understand and focus more. Then we have pranayama. Pranayama is basically control of breath. Mind and emotions becomes very calm, right? Then we have pratyahara, which is withdrawal of senses, freedom from distractions. So this materialistic world that we are running towards, right? Like if someone is there who is very like sharp in reading, in writing, in understanding the things, he's very good in understanding, but then his main goal of clearing UPSC is only money, the factor is only money, then this is what against yoga is, right? Then third one, dharana, which is concentration, mind fixed on one point or idea. So dharana is like basically once you start, once you sit and you will start thinking about things, you'll have the, you'll start thinking about negativity, then there will be like positive thoughts. Then at some point you'll reach where you'll not think about anything. And there is another important point to read. Sutras, these yoga, they never mentioned in any of the verses, it is not written that our mind stop thinking, as it is a very controversial thing, so very debatable thing, that if our mind, is there any stage where our mind stop thinking? Then in yoga it is written that it is not mentioned anywhere that our mind cannot think, or our mind stop thinking about anything. Our mind, yes, keeps on thinking, but at some stage it thinks about some positive, it realizes about true self. That is also a part of thinking, right? So dharana is basically you start concentrating at one thing, right? And if you remember, this is what Indian philosophy also says, that you are basically focusing on your study, and it is very important if you are like preparing for such huge exam, right? Next we have dhyana. So dhyana is like meditation, continuous effortless focus and peace. So in these things, and then there we have samadhi. Samadhi is like the, basically this is the ultimate goal, right? Where you are realizing yourself, where the union could be seen, right? So this is like the realization self. This is very like stillness, right? In dhyana you'll have few thoughts, right? But in samadhi you will not have any thought, right? So you'll have only the realization of self in samadhi. So this is the last step we have. So with this, yoga plays very important role, not only in for UPSC philosophy optional or for any other examination. This is important to analyze, to understand that these things play very huge and important role in us. So I'll come with another part, and I'll wait for your answers in the comment sections. Thank you.